All right, the class of 2013. What's up, guys? All right. On August 10th, 2010, I drove up to Philadelphia from Maryland, not for orientation, but pre-orientation, because, spending 1 week at the Constitution Center would not be enough for me. So I stayed near Temple University's campus with my oldest friend, David Thompson, who's here today. Thanks, DJ. He grew up across the street from me, so he let me stay with him at his apartment. The day of pre-orientation, I grabbed a remote to turn on the news, a habit I developed in high school. I turned to Fox 9, not Fox 5 like I'm used to in Washington, D.C., and I took to an image of police cars. A shooting had just taken place that morning. So, aghast, I whoosh over to DJ and I say, DJ, a shooting had just took place. He comes over to the television, looks at it, swooshes to the window, and he says, look, that's just right outside. Welcome to Philadelphia. Suburban bred Joseph. Septa. DJ puts me on the orange line, gets me through the free interchange to the L. Thank God for a friend who knows I have no good sense of direction. I walk to 34th Street. I pass the glass windows and I see students gathering in the lobby. I enter that revolving door and day -2 of 1005. Other than meeting who later become my best friend, and one of my best friends here in school, Eddie King, I listened to lectures, the upperclassmen advice, and took a deep breath and I said to myself, welcome to Drexel. How hard could this be, Joseph? Hard. It was very hard. At least for that first year. Back in 2010, I pictured myself, or law school, like I was on a raft. Somewhat larger than the door in the Titanic where Rose stood on, where obviously leaving Jack in the water to freeze to death, she had room on that. Oh, come on. I found myself alone, paddling with no good sense of direction. But the thing about this school, the thing about going to the Earl Mack School of Law is that seats aren't merely filled by the admissions team, no. Danielle, Christina, Issa, and Tiffany, and the admissions committee sit down and pick dynamic students because the faculty and staff at this school realize the power of one individual contribution to the school, to the bench, and to the bar. So we thank them for that. I quickly realized after those first semester grades made me doubt that I had a place at this front runner of a school, that this journey, that this lifelong profession is not made for people who want to sit alone on a raft. This journey, this career is not meant for those who hide away with textbooks and treatises and statutes. No. This journey is made for people who read all of those things, come to the table, and then they discuss and they share. Not just the black letter of the law, of course, but to share all the woes and all their worries, the wrongs and the rights about the law in its current state, how it affects us presently, and how it's going to affect us in the future. I've also realized how much our perspective had to change coming to law school. People from all walks of life come to law school, undergrads, graduates, people who are working, people who are just lounging around looking for something to do. We all come to law school with different perspectives and we sort of leave with just one, right? Our thought process has changed, so much so that when discussing or debating with loved ones, all answers must begin with yes or no, Your Honor. Or a personal favorite of mine, I'm not asking you if you were hungry. I asked who ate the last cookie. Jeffrey, Dee, Desmond, brothers who did it crazy. It has changed our ability to enjoy even the simple things. You realize you can't even enjoy movies anymore, right? You're watching Bad Boys 2 at Jasmine's house the day before Woodson's Crim Pro final, and there is no way, before kicking down the door of an alleged drug dealer, that Will Smith had anything in the vicinity of probable cause. I mean, I know it didn't look like I knew that on your exam, but... What the 120 plus of us shared in these 3 years, we uniquely experienced together. Other law students might have an idea. Our loved ones are grateful that they no longer have to hear about that, am I right? Right? Yeah. Don't clap, you got 2 months of the bar coming up. It's like 3 years all condensed into 2 months. I hope y'all ready for that. We experienced a lot together as a team, not as individuals on rafts. We've competed together. We've encouraged each other. We've won together and studied together, and we were even seat fillers for each other on different events in the school. I still remember when Mike Bassett invited me to a health law panel in 2L year. At that time, I had no interest in health law, and I still don't. It's just not my thing. Sorry, but thank you. It was really informative. Sitting next to the people that you are sitting next to right now gave us all a sense of belonging, of fun, and of purpose. Or in Mauricio, in my case, a sense of panic. We used to look at each other on first days of classes and looked around the room and who needs to drop this class? Like, that curve is steep. There's a quote I remember from a poem that I read in Cape Town, South Africa at the District 6 Apartheid Museum. It reads, "Out of the listening comes, through you am I." Wherever you were, August 2010, through you am I. I am more than that directionless man that was on the scepter. I am more than that guy who was watching the news on that very first day, or -2. Through you am I, more. In these 3 years, the more that we have come to the table and listened to each other, we've learned from each other. We've shared in each other's defeats, and we've also shared in each other's successes. And in these next 2 months, all we're going to be sharing in is success. Am I right? Yeah. So from the bar to the bar. See you there, got you. And every milestone before, between, and after, remember that picture of a brightly dressed man hanging in our law school fort. Remember, through you am I more. We are more than we were, more than we are. We are more together, and we have so much more to accomplish.